Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Colbert.
I want to know what you thought of the first presidential debate last week. Well, I thought Fox News Channel got a little bit carried away thinking they were on a reality show with Donald Trump instead of actually hosting a debate. I'm going to rename it the Fox News Channel presidential debacle because it was too much spectacle, not enough substance. More embarrassing than enlightening. And the biggest loser of the evening was the American people, who, by the way, stepped up in a massive effort, giving Fox News Channel a record-shattering audience number, 24 million viewers, bigger than any other cable news event in history, including sports. The presidential debacle started off with the first shot aimed at the destruction of Donald Trump. The second question by Megyn Kelly aimed at the heart of Donald Trump. And I bet every candidate and viewer was wondering at that moment, I thought Fox was on our side. I mean, Megyn Kelly took a personal stab at Donald Trump, suggesting that he is part of the war on women. So we're now 6 minutes into the debate, and I'm thinking, this isn't a debate at all, but a character assassination against Donald Trump because the outright fear and intimidation felt by the GOP establishment against a candidate that's rogue. Sounds like another favorite candidate of mine, Governor Sarah Palin. Hoorah! The GOP thought the same thing about our Sarah. Well, we can't control her, so let's sabotage her. We can't control Donald Trump, let's sabotage him. Then we'll get to choose another loser to relinquish more of the people's liberties and freedom and give us more control over them. Call me crazy, but I learned that a debate is actually asking the same question of every candidate, letting them answer and giving the audience an opportunity to listen to the solutions and discussion points that make each candidate different and unique. FYI, Fox News, that's supposed to give people a glimpse of how a candidate would govern and make decisions while in office. And the Fox debacle was so bad that even Lindsey Graham felt for Donald Trump and didn't think he deserved such abuse. Note to Fox, what you did to Trump not only didn't affect his poll numbers, but now you've driven people to his side. Congratulations. The other part of the debacle coverage was the post-debacle coverage. Because immediately following the debate, Megyn Kelly had Democrat National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz on to break down the debate. Are you kidding me? Seriously. There is a reason, Fox, why I watch you and not MSNBC or CNN or anyone else, because I don't want to see or hear that woman's absurd comments. And if she wasn't enough, they had another Obama drone staffer on commenting as well. Of course, I tuned it off and tuned it out. And I'm still trying to think, was there anything memorable? It's like my mind has tried to block out the debate. I did like the fact that Governor Huckabee actually used the words pimps, prostitutes, and drug dealers on live television. Fantastic. But second, the one last candidate that really stood out to me was Dr. Ben Carson and his final remarks about separating Siamese twins to removing half a brain. But the most poignant of that closing statement was the fact that he talked about the surgery that he did on an unborn baby in utero. What a brilliant man. I certainly don't think we've heard or seen the last of Dr. Ben Carson. But I think I was so flabbergasted about the presidential debate debacle that I couldn't really remember anything else except, oh my goodness, yes, that Jeb Bush lied about Common Core on television. What I would have preferred to have seen by Fox was, say, 7 or 8 questions that covered topics that Americans are concerned about, that we've been telling people about, such as illegal aliens overrunning our country, illegal alien violent crime that is up to 30% of all violent crimes being committed in many states. What about the massive debt, waste, fraud, and abuse, or the noose around the American neck known as Obamacare? Let's talk eliminating the IRS and what you would do to replace it, to give me more money, to give you more money. I wanted to hear each candidate answer the same question, to listen, to look in their eyes, to watch their body language, to take mental notes on the nuances of their answers. But thanks, Fox News. You're already in the bag for another candidate. And yes, it is that obvious. And you can call him Jeb. It comes down to one thing, friends. And that is that America has a broken system of government. And we can see that the media is complicit in their attempt to pick winners and losers. Just like the federal government is doing, only they're doing it with your tax dollars. At the end of the day, it boils down to one thing, and that's you. Your voice matters. Your vote should count, and you get the country you deserve by what you invest in it. The only way to have a show of force great enough to put all these people in their place, and especially the federal government, is Article 5 and hosting a convention of the states. This, of course, seems like a monumental task, and it is. It should be. The founding fathers, when they put Article 5 in the Constitution, they didn't put it in there because it would be easy. Nothing good in life is easy. This is nothing less than the refounding of America. And we can do it. We are the American people. Look at our history. This is what liberty, this is what legacy is all about. Last week, the Convention of States Project launched its grassroots roundtable 2 days before the presidential debate. We had 100 grassroots leaders from 33 different states on a phone call that included media who were listening in to see, to hear what the grassroots pulse was really all about. I am inviting any of you who want to be part of our next grassroots roundtable call to direct message me at Tamara Colbert on Twitter, at Tamara Colbert. I want to invite you. We are not only going to be doing teleconferences for our grassroots roundtable, we're going to be hosting a series of town hall events around the nation over the next year, engaging the grassroots and reigniting our collective grassroots fire. Because you know what? It's time to go rogue, ladies and gentlemen. I love rogue. It's my favorite thing to do. It's who I am. And it's time for each one of us to go rogue and shake up the status quo in the spirit of our favorite governor. Thank you, Sarah, for inspiring us, for giving us something to achieve and something to think about. That is liberty. That is legacy. That is our nation. That is the United States of America. And I can't wait to work with you. And I hope that I get a chance to meet you on some of these calls and hopefully in person. Remember, direct message me at Tamara Colbert on Twitter. For Mama Grizzly Radio, it's Tamara Colbert.
Tamara Colbert in Texas. Tune in for more Liberty and Legacy next week. And to learn about Convention of States, head to conventionofstates.com. Now our weekly commentary, Steel Resolve. Here's Sarah Steelman.
Thanks, Kevin. St. Louis, that boasts the famous Gateway Arch, symbolizing entry into the West, has lost that frontier spirit. In 1950, St. Louis had about 856,000 residents and was one of the 10 largest cities in the country. In 2012, the population is 318,000. The mayor of St. Louis is advocating the same old failed policies to breathe life back into the city that many other liberal mayors throughout the country are implementing. His economic development package includes building another new publicly funded football stadium to try and keep the Rams in the city, raising the minimum wage from $7.65 an hour to $15 an hour, and opposing Uber's entry into the city. His other major economic development concern is keeping an existing federal agency in the city. Think about it. We know that economic growth is derived from innovative entrepreneurs creating new businesses. In fact, according to the Kauffman Foundation, new businesses account for almost all net new job creation and almost 20% of gross job creation. Yet progressives want to concentrate their energy and efforts on squeezing more taxpayer money out of its citizens and spending that money to subsidize the profitable owners of NFL football teams. They want to make it more costly to start a new business by raising the minimum wage and applying a special 1% earnings tax on those new earnings. And to top it off, trying to stop Uber from coming into St. Louis is just stupid. These progressives need a lesson in basic economics. Until then, if you meet me in St. Louis under the arch, don't try to use your Uber app to get there. This is Sarah Steelman for Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tune in again next week for another segment of Steel Resolve right here on the Palin Update. And congratulations to Sarah Steelman, the Wall Street Journal, featuring one of her pieces this past week. Well done, Sarah. The Palin Update, including Liberty and Legacy and Steel Resolve, is on demand and available for download. Just head to mamagrizzlyradio.com, pick the show you want to hear, and you can listen anywhere, anytime. Well, that'll just about do it for this edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Visit mamagrizzlyradio.com for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also, like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook, and follow on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio, at Kevin Scholla, at Tamara Colbert, at Sarah_Steelman, and at 3DSTS. And I'm doing some writing for Breitbart News. Go to Breitbart.com and search Kevin Scholla. I want to thank Sarah Steelman, Tamara Colbert, and everyone here at Mama Grizzly Radio. Thanks to Colonel Rob Maness, and thank you for listening today. A special thanks to our sponsor, 3D Security and Training Academy. Visit 3DSTA.com. The Palin Update is produced by Lena Anderson, the Andy L. Kramer, and Lori Ann Lewis. Please be sure to join us again next time for another edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day.